The way I look at this religion, I come into this religion having a tight relationship with God, with Allah. Before I was a Muslim, I used to ride a motorbike and I used to speak to God every day, all day on my bike. So I always had these conversations like with, I was used to say like, you're my only best friend, protect me. You don't have no radio when you're riding your motorbike. So I used to have this, and I always felt close to Allah, to God. So after my conversion until now, I've always felt like, that's why when I was in one of my early classes and they said one of the most repeated like verses or things said in the Quran is remember me and I will remember you. It's like I used to think to myself, do you know what, you see, if I just do good by Allah, Allah will take care of my daily affairs. I remember losing my identity when I first converted. It's like I forgot who I am. I didn't even go to the barbers anymore. I just used to say, no, it's just dunya, just cut my own hair. I'll go into Primark and just buy combats and just like, just dress like a certain way. And I remember thinking that, no, this is all just dunya, this life is temporary. And alhamdulillah, this is a good way of thinking, it's the truth. But I lost my identity, and sometimes you go so far in that you get so lost that you go super far back out after. You go from one extreme to another extreme. And I've seen that happen. You got to pace yourself and be real with yourself.
Yes.
So that's one thing where I realised, you know what? Let's just be real and take it down a little bit and be realistic with who we are.
When I was 17 years old, I crashed head on into a brick wall at a very high speed in a car, and I recognized very powerfully that I could have easily passed into another world and not known anything about that world. Shortly after that, at the age of 17, I was in a bookstore and I saw a book titled The Book of Certainty, and the author of that book was Abu Bakr Sirajuddin. I didn't know at the time that that was Dr. Martin Lings. It was the first time that I'd ever seen the Quran quoted or mentioned. And his name in Arabic means Sirajuddin, the lamp that guides to religion. I am eternally indebted to him.
It's like I was on the edge of a cliff. I was ready to jump. I just needed a push. So I was sitting there, it was very quiet. I was reading Quran and I stopped. I said, Allah, this is my moment. This is the time I'm about to jump into Islam. All I need is just a sign. Just a little sign, nothing huge, maybe a bolt of lightning. And subhanAllah, nothing. Absolutely nothing happened. I was really disappointed, to be honest. I was gutted. I was sitting there thinking, this is it, you know, this was my last chance, Islam, and I hadn't found it. I pulled back the Quran, I turned back to where I was reading. SubhanAllah, the very next verse on the next page, for those of you who ask for signs, have we not shown you enough already? Look around you, look at the stars, look at the sun, look at water. These are the signs for the people of knowledge.
I'm from Japan. I embraced Islam 25 years ago in Japan. It is said that my family came from like samurai clan.
And your town is known for making what?
It's a samurai sword.
What are you doing in Qatar?
I do dawah, especially for the Japanese non-Muslims.
How many Japanese people have you spoken to, and how were the conversations?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, 218 Japanese non-Muslims.
How was their response? What kind of things did they say?
Basically, they are very first time to know Islam. So I introduced very basics of Islam, especially Tawheed, especially the existence of God and the oneness of God. And they are really surprised to know how Muslims logically believe. And they agree, they understand his point.
When I read the Quran, I knew it was the truth. When I read the life of the Prophet, I knew he was a prophet. It wasn't difficult to know. I still believe this for 99% of people, right? It's not hard to know that Islam is the truth. And that's why a person who rejects it is kafara. It means they cover up. They cover up what they know, right? They reject what they know in their heart. The problem is not knowing the truth. The problem is accepting it and following it and implementing it. That's the hard bit. The hard bit is changing your life. This hadith mentions how a man will come in front of Allah on the Day of Judgment, and Allah will show him his scrolls of deeds, and they will stretch as far far as he can see, to the horizon on his right and his left. That's his scroll of evil deeds. And Allah will ask him, what have you got to say for yourself? And he knows he's condemned. He says, that's it, I'm finished. And Allah will say, well, no, you've got something that outweighs all of that. And the man says, what is that, my Lord? And Allah gives him a little piece of paper. And on it is written, La ilaha illallah. He said, that outweighs all of that. Islam ultimately gives me certainty. And that's what I think we're all looking for. We're all looking for certainty. The Quran gave me that certainty. The Quran is a book that says to me it is from God, and it gives me convincing reasons to believe that it's from God. And that's the key. The Quran is from God. Allah is the creator of the heavens and the earth. He knows us. He knows the universe. He created us. He knows us better than we know ourselves.
They said that when a man dies, his janazah is covered in 3 cloth. But when a woman dies, her janazah is covered in 5 cloth. And what was the moral of the story of that? It's like because Allah doesn't like even a dead woman's body where people can see her shape. And also, even if you're dead, Allah covers your head, the women. And it was so beautifully written that you don't want your last day to be the first day of your hijab. And that is something that touched me so deep. I'm sorry.
I bear witness there is none worthy of worship except Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his servant and his messenger.